It is the custom at Hastings for the senior class to submit through a democratic process a list of people that they would like to have considered as commencement speakers. This year, that list was short, and the virtually unanimous choice of the student body was the distinguished young man who honors us today as speaker. He is, as you all know, one of the brightest young stars in the entire world of entertainment. He is a San Franciscan. He spent his early childhood in Detroit and in Chicago, and moved to San Francisco with his family while he was still in high school. After college, he won a full scholarship to New York's Juilliard School, where for 3 years he studied drama under John Houseman. If you need a connection for things in your life, I submit that one. Our guest is known to each of you. He needs no further introduction, and I won't embarrass him by reading one. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending the warmest welcome to Mr. Robin Williams.
Thank you. Play ball. Thank you very much. Many of you have finally seen Dean Prunty for the first time. You've heard the voice. Now you've actually seen the man. We are gathered here today, I especially, to present the Willie Brown Fashion Award, which consists of a gift certificate to Wilkes Bashford. But actually, I'm here because Judge Wapner couldn't be here. Thank you. I'm actually here dressed as a druid. There must have been someone in the Middle Ages who went, "Put the wooden thing on the head. That'll go." It's so nice to wear this on a hot day, too. Well, I'm here to honor you, the graduates of UC Tenderloin. You made it. I'm also very honored to be on the same stage with the esteemed faculty of Hastings Law School, the finest faculty to ever retire from another school. Thank you. Schools such as Cornell, Brown, Hyde, and Market. Incredible people, the members of the Over 65 Club. People go, "What? Over 65? You've made it. You've been through it all. You've gone through 3 years. You've learned such exciting phrases as "Quoque clausum frigit," "Summing res ipso locator," and the word that even Mr. Punter used, perpetuity. I'm sure you could use, "Excuse me, I need some perpetuity." There's a rule against that, I know. You've learned. It hasn't all been tough. You've learned the incredible congressional definition of obscenity, which sounds like something from a Tennessee Williams play. At a male when he's in a turgid state, or if the female is wearing an opaque undergarment. You've also heard the incredible opinions of Judge Learned Hand on self-abuse, Judge Friendly on sexual relations, and the case of Harry Reams versus the state of Tennessee, where the word hung jury was struck from the memo. You've thrilled to the contract lectures of Dr. Shattuck, or Professor Shattuck, a man who lectured you on obligationis quasi ex modo, which means if you have an agreement with Notre Dame. Thank you. My worthy fetal assistant. Professor Shattuck, read my book. You also have learned to hear at twice the speed of sound listening to the criminal law lectures of Vivian Wilson. You know this? And I think, who will ever forget Professor Rudy Schlesinger? Yes, sir. They say the man is a wonderful combination of Walter Brennan and Otto Preminger. A man who in class will go, "John Stewart, will you tell us, please? No, if you realize, like, the universe is connected." Thank you, Mr. Stewart. We need no arguments for euthanasia today. You'll never again see people like Linda Williamson again saying, "You have to take it over." You'll seldom come back to vacation on McAllister Beach. Never go again to the Sutro Room, which has been renamed the Sansamia Suite. The special moot court room where many intimate negotiations were held. You'll come back, though. You've prevailed. You've gotten through it all. Now they say you have a week and a half off, and you start again. You must take the law review, the brie. You start again, it's like Evan Wood on speed, going, "You must learn it all again." Many of you have been through the law interviews, which is kind of like the dating game is run by the Marquis de Sade. You've been through all of that. Some of you have sent out as many as 270 letters and gotten back 2, one from something called Tort of the Month. And yet, after you get through all of that, you have the wonderful joy of knowing, not done yet. You have to take the California bar, which is kind of like the Beta Breakers is run by the NRA. Let them go, only a few will make it. And even if you get through that, you're going, please, it's a process of choice and selection. Even Charles Darwin would have gone, aren't you being a touch harsh? Can't you let a few more through? And there's lawyers on the other side going, no! Make it hard, make the name a multiple choice. No. You know, they're waiting for you on the outside. And if you do get a job with the legal profession, you have the wonderful privilege of knowing that after maybe 6 or 7 years, you can look up at the sign seeing Fibbles, Kemen, Ruffus, and others. Mom, look, that's me, I'm others. And yes, why do you do this? Why do you go into a profession that even Mark Twain said, to succeed in other trades, capacity must be shown. In the law, concealment will do. You see, most people consider lawyers a man who helps you get what's coming to him. And people think that no poet ever interpreted nature as freely as lawyers interpret truth. Or lawyers consider their trade a profession in much the same fashion as priests consider themselves religious. In neither case are they required to explain how they make their living. And even your esteemed predecessors, people such as Benjamin Disraeli, said lawyers are ever illustrating the obvious, always explaining the evident, and forever expiating the commonplace. And even the place where you work, strange. Someone said a courtroom battle is one in which everyone shoots from the lip. Or an appeal is when you ask one court to show its contempt for another court. Or for the poor person, someone might think that a court is a place where a man is assumed guilty until he's been proven influential. Some lawyers told me to give this advice to them. Tell them, one who was a criminal lawyer said, here's my piece of advice. Tell them, find the corpus and hide it. But I think you did this for something other than that. I think you went through all of this. If you did it just for money, no. No, not to work for a corporate law firm and have someone say, I don't really consider it tax evasion, I call it more a creative investment. Or to end up in a criminal law case with someone whose middle name is The, and realize that, I didn't know the guy fell asleep in the trunk. Or eventually end up maybe in entertainment law. Oh, yes. And negotiating the contracts for the merchandising of the Gandhi lunchbox. Yes, all I could be looking forward to, but I don't think you did it for that. I think you did it for something else. I think you do it for the same reason that I perform. I think somewhere deep down, way down inside, there's something, these mists of altruism flowing around, and way in the back, there's a little man going, I'm ethics. What? Yeah, come here. People saying, is that like the new Richard Nixon book, Ethics, Fantasy or Fiction? No. The real one. The real thing, ethics, it drives you way in the back of your mind to pursue things like truth, freedom, mercy, justice. It's that drives you on. The reason why for the last couple of years, and that for many years here at Hastings, you've always been trying to fight for public access to the legal system. That's what drives you to do this. The reasons why many of you work for political offices and strange campaign offices, answering phone, no, she was not in today, thank you. Working all those hours, even after studying for 45 hours, going, I'm fine, I'm fine. Because you see, whether you know it or not, on the outside, the system needs some help. Some people have defined the American legal system in its present state as a definition of an elephant, a mouse created to government specifications. It's overburdened. It even prompted the dean, or actually the president of Harvard Law School, to say, this is Dean Bok, Derek Bok, to say, it should be hailed by all who believe that our government of laws has been contorted into a government of legalisms. He believes that the introduction of more courses that teach lawyers how to mediate and not just litigate, efforts to simplify the law and increase the access to the poor to the legal system, an attempt by judges to measure the impact of the ruling not merely on the litigants in the case before them, but on society as a whole. I think that might be somewhere in the back of your heart why you do this. See, because I just had a son, and I always have this dream. I think many parents have a dream, too, that when their son gets to be a certain age, you'll be going, yes. It'll be your son going, I promise to uphold the Supreme Court. And you also have another dream where it's your son going, you want fries with this? But I wish you luck. You've been through so much already where you don't need it, and now you're going, good luck to you. Take care. You've done a lot more to go. I only leave you with a little advice. Remember, illegitimi non caberundum. Those of you who speak Latin are going, great. One man in the back saying, what does that mean? The bastards don't grind you down? Yes. Remember, what's right is what's left after you do everything else wrong. And remember this, way in the back of your mind, it's very important when you've been in some steaming courtroom with a judge going, what are you saying now? Remember this, that a motion to adjourn is always in order. God bless you. Take care of yourselves, and good luck.